My perspective is of a father, of a dad. So when I was researching this school, obviously the main thing for me is my kids spend a lot of time at school, so I want them to be educated when they leave. So I want to find the best school in Columbia to send my kids to. If I'm going to invest my time and efforts and my children's time and efforts, I want them to graduate being educated people. We know that the way the world is today, they need all the tools they can have to be successful, and that's what you want as a father. You want your kids to be safe and successful. So in researching that, I've been in Columbia since 1980. I went to Columbia Public Schools and have great memories of that, but it was easy to decide whenever it came time to choosing schools. And we actually came here, recruited it, took the tour, researched it, and it was a no-brainer once we did it. I kind of wanted to actually reach out to the blue-collar guys, the blue-collar dads that were out there, because the first thing you think of is tuition. It's very scary. It's an investment. That's usually the first thing that comes up in conversation when I talk to other parents. My first thought, for us personally, was they have a great tuition assistance program here that I didn't know about. And one of the teachers actually mentioned whenever we were researching it, like, hey, there's a lot of people that give a lot for kids to be successful. So look into that. So that helped us out a ton. We have 3 children. I'm just a construction worker. So I'm very blessed to be helped by the tuition assistance program and very thankful for that. So that was my first probably big scare. The other thing that I've always kind of told other dads around is, we're all working hard. We all spend our money on what we love, and we invest in our children on a daily basis. And so most people, I kind of say, how can you afford not to invest in your children? And we worry about what they eat, and we spend extra money to get the good food. But when it comes to education, we just maybe don't have all the information to make the right choice. The thing is, if we want successful children, we have to invest in them. It's more like not can you afford it, but how can you afford not to, in my opinion.
That's awesome.
I'd rather have that than a boat. So absolutely, I have 3 children. They're 3 different children. And one of them is very big into school. And so, of course, she was the one that we asked soon into it, hey, how is this? Is this challenging? Is this easy for you? And she said, oh no, this is a good school. This is hard. This is, I'm scared of this teacher, which for her was, she's always been the top of her class. So that was a great check in the box for us because we want our kids to be challenged. And she was the first thing. She was the first feedback. So obviously from that point on, I always joke that my boys like reading. And so that's a miracle. I don't know what those teachers are doing to make that awesome, but there's so many different things that you notice that your kids do. The grades are better, and the tests are taken that are kind of placement tests. They're doing very well. Well, of course, that's definitely near and dear to my heart. I'm a sports guy. I'm a big fan of, to me, the thing that I love the most, actually our first time we came was to a basketball game, just to kind of check out the school and just see. And I loved how our cheering section was. We don't win every game, we don't, but a bunch of adults and kids rooting for each other. And I think what I loved the most was the character and how they rooted. They cheered loud for our team, but they cheered loud for the other team whenever they would, when things, when a kid would make a good shot, they would cheer for him. We've been to track state championships where we're rooting for that last kid to cross the finish line. I'm very proud of the way we travel, and our kids play harder. Our coaches coach harder. We are very competitive in the league that we're at, and I take pride in that. I love the fact that we have fun and that we're loving the other team and the refs, but at the same token, we like to play hard, we like to win, we like to cheer for our team, and there's not too many people going to be louder, and we have a lot of kids that play a lot of sports. It's kind of like small town sports. When you're a small school, you get to play 3 sports, and if you're a father who has athletic kids, you want them to be playing all the time. It keeps them out of trouble. So idle hands type situation. So we love that they do so many things at this school. For a small school, they really stretch themselves out to try to make everything possible, and we win.
And we do win.
I try to be humble, but we win.
Right? Yeah. In fact, while you were talking.
The thing is, if we want successful children, we have to invest in them. It's more like not can you afford it, but how can you afford not to, in my opinion.
That's awesome.
I'd rather have that than a boat.